get really wet.
That's really evil. That reminds me of something that the character in my book would do. You just plant ideas in your head, and then you just feel bad the whole day just because you kind of nudged him a little bit.
Oh man,
I love that.
That's a bit extreme though.
Yeah,
I guess
the character in my book's really extreme.
Give them something they can feel.
Favorite kind of MCU, we've done that. Favorite movie in the MCU and why? Possibly top 5 as well.
Alright, top 5, cool. So my favorite one has got to be like standalone.
Yeah, however you want to order it, whatever, it's up to you.
All right, so because I think it's a bit different if you're including the other like if the other films are relevant, you know, because it's part of the storytelling. Right?
Yeah.
So like Endgame, we'll get there obviously, but like I thought as a standalone film, it's not amazing, but as part of the MCU, like as a story,
the mythos,
end to a storytelling. Yeah, I thought it worked really well. But standalone film, yeah, it's got to be Winter Soldier, man. Yeah. Right?
100%. I'm so on board with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's got to be, right? It's like, but what's your reason?
My reason, again, going back to why the MCU Cap is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite, is the storytelling it did really set up, in my head for the comics, Civil War, because I was waiting for that for so long, and that really planted that, and it hinted at Stephen Strange as well. But overall, the interactions, at the part where they've got Sitwell, I think he's black, he's brown, definitely, bald and brown and has glasses. And when they have him on the roof and Falcon keeps dropping him or something like that. Either way, at that part he's reeling off like people's names, blah blah blah. And he's like, and Stephen Strange, and I was at the theater with my friend, and I was like, oh, they just said it. And this was before the movie was announced, and I was like, dude, what's going on? But Winter Soldier, like it's a spy movie that is dressed up as a comic book movie kind of thing. And that's kind of the direction that the movies were going in anyways. Like, it's this movie, but comic book characters instead.
Yeah.
And that was kind of where I saw the beginning of that and the action scenes. And at the beginning of Winter Soldier, when he's on the boat, he is kicking everyone off the boat.
Bad,
I'm like,
right?
are you not meant to not kill people? Like, because these people are either severely injured and disabled, or backs broken or whatever, or dead and drowning. But everyone's just getting the kick. It's not a different movie. Just
Like
kick.
he's had a bad day, innit?
Funny, and it's just wonderful. And like that character that he had just showed even though his previous movie was Avengers and the first Avenger, the progression of his character coming into more in a man of today rather than just being a man out of time. Because even in Avengers, he was still kind of like, I'm fresh to this, like when he was looking at the helicarrier, and then you see his progression as character is wonderful.
Yeah, really. And I think that was like, because it was the Russos who did that one?
Yeah, Russos have done 4 movies.
Right. And I think it's a really, it's a testament to what they intended for that film, you know, like in terms of making him interesting, you know, in like, in just basically saying that what makes a person interesting is the conflict that they have to go through. So like what conflict could you put the perfect man through, you know, and immediately, like within like 10 minutes of the film, you're interested in him. Like, and then what it does, at least the reason I think I like that so much is because it retroactively makes me like the first Captain America. Like, which I thought was amazing, because like the first one for sure was underwhelming for me when I first saw it. But now going back, I appreciate it way differently.
Absolutely. I saw when I first saw the first Avengers, like, all right. And then I think even after watching Winter Soldier, it's like, all right, cool. And then I went back and watched Captain America, the first Avengers, like, you know what? The way this movie was done, because it's not done like a modern movie. It's done like with the montage and everything. It's done like a much older movie.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I really appreciated the fact that this movie is set in like with the 1930s/1940s, give or take, like the actual time scale they're going with. I think it's the 40s. And
he's no World War II.
Yeah, I'm terrible at history, and I'm American, so we didn't do anything with that much. Like, and it was just different with, like I said, with the montages, and stylistically it just felt like an older movie, and it worked so well. But because I wasn't expecting that the first time around, it's like, I wanted more action, and I want this. And then you go back and you see Hugo Weaving as Red Skull, and Hugo Weaving is just amazing. Like, for me, he will always be Agent Smith, like, just always. But he's obviously Lord of the Rings as well, and he's in everything. But that for me is the defining role, and just that movie is really good to me.
Yeah, I mean, he was brilliant when made the silly decision to do that shitty Mortal Engines film. I mean, like,
So you've seen it?
no offense, but
You saw it?
yeah, man, it's garbage, man.
We'll talk about that after the film.
Right, okay, cool. Sorry.
Cause like,
Yeah, so
we'll get into it. Cool. Yeah, like I think we've talked a lot about the that movie, and that's established as our favorite movie. I don't think we need a top 5, but definitely I would have Infinity War for me as a top 5 and Civil War as well.
Infinity
What
War.
top 3?
Yeah, Infinity War. I mean, just the end alone, man. Like, if they hadn't spoiled it by letting us know what films they were gonna make, man. Like, but
If we didn't know Endgame was gonna happen,
wow, man.
that I think it would
Imagine.
hit harder.
Bruv, like, and
So
the thing
much.
is, going into it, we knew what films were going to happen. Going into it, we knew there was a part 2 that they'd already
But
pretty
even
much
still.
filmed, and the impact was still.
Imagine
Oh my god,
if we didn't know,
probably couldn't take it.
we literally was just like,
Everyone was just quiet.
just. But like that's how I felt leaving the movie when I saw it.
Yeah.
But imagine that like 20,000 times worse because we didn't know there was going to be a sequel.
Yeah,
Like I think the Russos or Feige had said that like a part of them wishes they didn't announce all the movies because that kind of gave hints about things and stuff like that. And I think that is definitely one of them where if they didn't announce it, it would have been. I think the movie would have struck you much harder. Not a better movie, but you would have had a different vibe about it.
yeah, for sure. It would have had one of them Game of Thrones impacts. You know?
I'm gonna take your word on it. I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, you don't?
If I want to watch dragons and boobies, I can go to a specific website for that.
Multiple
I don't-
websites.
Yeah, so I only kind of go to 2 of them though, so
Yeah.
maybe 3.
Well, the joke is, since the boobs are always nice no matter the format, but if you're watching it for the dragons, I mean, don't, because as soon as they started introducing those, it kind of went a bit downhill, man.
Really?
Yeah, it went a bit Hollywood. So they were like, yeah, man, we kind of, we don't really know what we're doing with the writing, which I think is what TV is for. It's for writers,
Yeah,
Um,
it's consistent, or at least should be.
Yeah, and then they kind of got a little bit lost of their writing, went a bit dragon heavy, and just went a bit downhill, man.
Cool. All right, what else we got? Who would win between Thor and Hulk? MCU.
MCU.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do this already?
Yeah, but
like
who do you
8
think would win?
times.
Just like 4, but still.
No, at the end, right now. Like Endgame one. Like,
Yeah, but that's clearly Thor though.
yeah.
Like, or at their peak in the MCU, so which I guess is what well, no, I guess it's still now Thor because he's got
Yeah, now Thor, and it's got to be Ragnarok Hulk in it, where he's fresh from like
Yeah.
3 years of whooping ass.
yeah. But then at that fight, Thor was winning though. I think Thor MCU at their peaks, it would be Thor.
Yeah, I think so, man. When he got that
Oh.
big old beard knot at the end, man.
Oh, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get
In
to it.
it.
Oh, we're
In
gonna
it.
get to it. It's wonderful. All right, cool. So we've established it's Thor that would win in the MCU.
It's got to be.
Cool. I said who's the best superhero? No, who's your favorite? And this is a tricky question. Who's the best?
So, like, the most effective?
However you want to quantify it.
Well, I mean, you're the interviewer.
All right, cool. Yeah, most efficient.
Most efficient.
Yeah.
Like
Most
the-
efficient.
Most efficient?
Yeah.
I don't know, what is that different from effective?
Yes.
Alright, so
Because-
most efficient. Well, it's got to be most efficient.
Because technically you could make an argument
Yeah.
for Superman because Superman, all the powers in the world, and he can pretty much be in many places. He can't be in 2 places at once though because those are the rules.
Make a bigger argument for Flash.
Yeah, but he can't fly.
But, but he's way faster.
He's faster, but if a plane's falling, what's he gonna do?
I don't know, create like a tornado to make it fall slower.
You could do that.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. I
But
should
then
get his powers. That's sick.
But people can spin around and then they're gonna black out.
And he'd make 2 tornadoes.
to counterbalance
just to hold up, like a helicopter.
True. Doc Ock, Otto Octavius as Spider-Man is hella efficient because he's got the spider bots around the city.
Ooh.
He knows what's going on. So in
Ooh.
terms of scale, he's technically a better Spider-Man than Spider-Man. Like in that aspect, like in the actual hero aspect of it, yeah. But He's still a crappy person though.
Yeah, so I mean, so it's like pound for pound, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you like, because it's like, if it were like boxing, you just be like, well, whoever's got the most belts in heavyweights would be the best, but it's got to be pound for pound, really, innit? Because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, so pound for pound. So we're not MCU, but like all
Just
over.
in general, like
Just in general.
we've talked a lot about the MCU. We're gonna get back to it, but let's break it down to the actual source.
So I mean, I mean, probably Batman. But is he technically a superhero?
By definition, I believe he is, because he does super antics as a human being.
Right.
Super, for me, I guess, like taking away like dictionary definitions, super doesn't necessarily mean you've got powers.
So it's like it's
Because technically, Tony Stark isn't a superhero if that's the case. He has a suit of armor. So I think what makes you super is the ability to do something extraordinary, or something out of your comfort zone, or that becomes your comfort zone, doing things like that. So with Tony Stark, he had the same intellect, but he was making weapons. The moment he decided to protect and not so much to serve, but help people and things like that, that's what made him that superhero. The hero is to protect him, because you got super villains as well. Doctor Doom, technically, anti-hero at points and so on, but overall, he's super in the terms of his intellect is amazing. But what makes him the villain is what he does with that intellect. Batman, so you've got, say, who would be the anti-version of that? Deathstroke. Deathstroke, super smart, fair enough. Like, he's got some serum as well. But in general, great soldier, knows what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. But he's a super in terms of what he does, villain, because he's a mercenary and he kills.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I can see your argument for Batman being a superhero.
Yeah, I'm thinking most efficient, you know, even though I don't like him that much. I just think he's the guy, innit? Like, he can just handle stuff probably like proportionally, you know, like pound for pound, it's like an ant stronger than us.
Yeah.
It's
And,
like
and a spider.
You know what I mean?
That's why I love Spider-Man. Bug spray.
Extra potent.
Catch a raid out there.
Yeah, probably. Maybe, but then like I do like MCU Tony for the same reason.
Yeah,
Like-
his progression is wonderful.
Like, that's amazing, man. Like, to go from like to be like an arms dealer, right? to being the guy that literally saves the world multiple times. Like, and against the biggest threat to the universe, man. Like, like that's crazy.
It's amazing, and I think like the origin of Tony Stark as a character, like part of the reason why, like from what I can remember, Stan Lee idea was, I want to create a character that the world will hate, force it down their throat and make them like him. Because at the time of, from what I can remember, Tony Stark was created, he was literally every capitalist's dream, and I think that was a lot during a important time, no one wanted that, and it was against that, and they made him a superhero, and he's this character, and they literally proved that from the first Iron Man movie. He creates arms, he creates weapons, he creates this, and he doesn't care where it goes, and he saw what happened, and that was the progression. And then you see his character progression in Avengers Assemble, because he lets someone else take lead. He says, Cap, what's the plan?
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool, I'll do what you say, blah, 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 and he makes that sacrifice in terms of that. And when Cap tells him, you're not the person to make the sacrifice, in that movie, he made the sacrifice to fly into space.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Which is interesting as well, because it's like, because when he's like, Cap, take the lead, and it's like, and this is a big thing for someone with an ego that size, right? And it's quite interesting that I thought it was like a nice, maybe a subtle nod to him reconciling his ego with the situation, you know, like, cool, if I'm going to sacrifice myself, I have to do like the biggest thing to go and do that, you know, like, it's like, I thought it was quite interesting how he understood himself, understood his, like, quote unquote flaws, you know?
Yeah.
And used it to his advantage to better the lives of everyone around him, man. It's just,
Which you did.
yeah,
For sure.
it's a bit hard to, yeah, man. You know, just because he made me cry as well.
I
Tony,
hear that. Okay.
your boy.
Cool. Fair enough.